So now I want to go over what equipment you will need. And I want you to keep in mind that you don't have to start with advanced equipment. You can start with a beginner's level. You can start with something basic, something free. There's a lot of free software out there and very inexpensive material, such as lighting and even things that you might already have that you use. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But it's just keeping that in mind that you can start simple, and as you go along, you can upgrade your equipment. So obviously you're going to need some video equipment, some audio equipment, and some lighting equipment, or at least good natural light as you go along. And you're going to need some editing equipment. So I want to go over some of the recommended video equipment that you could use. For example, we know many people that are using and creating courses on their iPhone or iPad. And like I said, you can start something basic and something simple, but really anything that can shoot high definition video will suffice for this. So if you are going to use an iPhone, for example, just make sure that you're using an iPhone 4 model or above, or if you're using an iPad, to be using an iPad 2 model or above. You can also use webcams. We know many instructors who use webcams. Again, you can get HD webcams. I would definitely not recommend using your computer webcam unless you have a upgraded computer that has the capability to shoot in HD. There's also a lot of flip cameras that are HD cameras that you can use, point and shoot cameras that are HD. In fact, we started with a point and shoot camera that was HD product that was good for what we needed at the time, and we just upgraded over time. There's a lot of GoPro cameras that are HD, and most DSLR cameras are going to be high definition as well. So you can use those to record your video. But again, when it comes to the video recording equipment, you have so many options because most recording equipment at this point uses HD quality. So you're pretty good to go. The more challenging part sometimes is when you start looking at the audio equipment. And like we've said before, is that you have to focus on improving your audio before you focus on improving your video equipment, just because that is the thing that most students complain about, or most students will look at and judge the course by, because a lot of students, even though they see the video part, a lot of them actually take it on the go where they're listening to the video instead of actually looking at the video. So let's look at some video equipment. And actually, before we look at audio equipment, I just want to let you know that if you don't know if your camera shoots in HD, all you have to do is do a quick Google search and simplify the search, where you can put whatever the camera type and model is and put resolution, and it should tell you whether you're good to go or not. Again, 1280p times 720 is high definition, so you should be good to go. Like I said, most equipment will be high definition. So the audio equipment that we recommend is that it really depends, first of all, what type of video you're going to be recording. You can buy a lapel system, a wireless microphone and receiver. We use Audio-Technica Pro 88WR. And again, you'll have all this information written down for you to make it easier. However, the pricing when it comes to your lapel mic can vary. You can buy some as low as $18, which the Sony ECM CS3 is only $18. And some of them vary, can go up to $150 or even more for lapel mics. So there's a variation. We always suggest that you look at the reviews and see which one you feel most comfortable with, what people are saying, and things like that. Another aspect is that you can even use your headphones when it comes for like your iPhone headphones. It has the mic in it. And we used to use that where we used to hide the buds, the listening part, and we used to hide it and then use a clip to hold the mic itself out in the shirt, and then we would use it and talk. And actually the audio quality is pretty good on that. They've done a great job at, using it for recording purposes. In fact, some of the audio qualities in headphones when it comes to like the iPhone headphones and things like that are sometimes even better than what we've experienced when we've tried different lapel mics for the most part. So what we did for the audio, again, is that we had the lapel mic and then we would connect it to the iPhone, and we would have an app that would record the audio that way, and then we would just email it to ourselves, and then we would edit it. So again, we only used to use the headphones for the most part. There are lapel mics that you can buy also that go directly to your device, whether it's an iPhone, Samsung, or whatever you have, that you can use directly with that. So that's another option as well if you don't want to use your headphones and things like that. But again, it's looking at ways that you can do it cost effectively if you're just starting, which is going to help you for the most part get going. As far as USB microphones, if you're using recording a screencast or something else, or PowerPoint like we're doing now, you can use a USB microphone. Obviously, you can buy a bunch of fancy equipment and stuff like that, but it's not necessarily needed. There's several low-cost microphones that you can use. For example, there's the Samsung Go mic, which is only $30. There's the Blue Snowball, which is pretty popular as well, which is $69. And then if you want to upgrade for a better one, it's Blue Yeti, which is $129. We use a Rode USB microphone, and we did a lot of research and looked at what other people were using, and we were pretty satisfied with this one. And again, we'll put the specs and information for that one in the documentation. Now, I want to take a look at the software and programs that you can use. Some of them are for both, depending on what you're doing, Screencast or not. These are for PC and Mac. We use editing tools for both just the PC, and then we also use an actual professional tool, which is Sony Vega Pro. And again, we'll have a link information to that. That one's not as cost efficient. So if you're just starting out, you might want to use the free ones that come with your PC. And we actually used to use a free one. We'll tell you which one that is in a second. But if you're doing screencasts, also there's free ones and ones that are a little bit more expensive. We use Camtasia, and that one runs for about $299. And it obviously provides a lot of great tools. I'm told that they do have, I think, a low cost or a freer version of Camtasia without all the tools and stuff like that. There's also Debbie Video Capture, which is free. It's an option when it comes to screencasting and doing it that way. For as far as the Mac, your Mac comes with video editing software already, which is great, which is iMovies, which you can use right away. If you want to do screencasting with ScreenFlow for $99, there's iShowU for $69 or QuickTime. So for PC, there actually comes with free software as well, and most people don't know this. And if your computer doesn't have it, if you have Windows 10 or above, you can actually download it, and it's free. And it's not as great as iMovie, but it really serves you, and we've used it many times, and we'll be showing you some demonstrations with it for video editing purpose. And it's very, very simple. So it's pretty good if you're just starting out. So that way you don't have to figure out what you're actually doing, messing with something like Sony Vegas, which is a lot more complicated. But as you upgrade, Sony Vegas is easy once you get used to it. But obviously Movie Maker, it's a lot easier. But again, that's Movie Maker and free software. Cam Studio, if you're doing screencast, which is free, or Front Cam, which is $30. Other things that I want to point out is that you don't have to edit your things. There's many things that you can do to have someone edit your audio, edit your video, and things like that. So you don't have to become an expert at that. In fact, you can go to Fiverr and get someone to edit some of your videos, edit your audio to make it sound quality. And again, someone like $5 you can pay per video, which is very cost efficient. So if you don't want to just skip that, you don't want to get programs, you don't want to learn how to do the audio, you can just go ahead and outsource this. There's Video Pixie. They're a little bit more expensive. Obviously, you can compare the quality if you ever go that route. You can look at local videographers that might do it per hour rate, where you tell them this is how many videos, can you edit the video and audio. Or you can also just go to somewhere like Freelancer and hire a freelancer to be able to do that and be able to help you just edit it without you having to worry about it. And so if you have some capital, if you have some wiggle room, that you can say, well, I can invest this much money into having someone edit it out and do it quickly. That way I don't have to learn the process. Go ahead and do that. As far as lighting, we're actually going to do a video on lighting where we're going to get more into lighting and some of the equipment that you can use, but you can do low-cost lighting. Obviously, you can do natural lighting depending on where you're at, if you have good windows and if you're doing it outside and things like that, picking good video lighting. Or you can buy professional lighting, which is pretty cost-effective. Some of the things, like we said, we're going to go over them. You can find them at Home Depot. And also, there's other things that you can buy online that are pretty cost effective at this point. I remember when I first started a photography company, it was a lot more expensive, and now you can really have anything that you need as far as lighting at a budget. So I look forward to looking at that and going over that. And again, there's a documentation where you can look at some of the programs that we went over. Thank you.